Hi, what's up, y'all? It's popping in. Steve about to react to this Abba and Preach vid. Apparently, this is an update on the whole Hassan situation. You know, he came out and essentially said that streaming is harder than a regular job in so many words. He didn't say that exactly, but that's basically what the narrative that everybody ran with. And now, you know, he is responding to all of the criticism that he's gotten. And skimming through the vid, it looks like the other guy has responded as well. Like I said in the initial video, I understand what they're saying. There is some validity to what they're saying to a certain degree, but I think they fucked up in saying that, you know, it's harder than a regular job, or even implying that, or even making that comparison. I feel like the comparison was unnecessary. If you're going to speak on it, just speak on it and emphasize the struggle that you have. But trying to compare it, you're opening yourself up to so much criticism because it can easily be disputed, and people can be like, well, what about an ER doctor? What about you know, a construction worker who's working out in the hot sun for 12 hours? Is it harder than that? You know, so I just feel like the comparison thing is what muddied the argument and, you know, made people just focus on that. But I mean, there's some validity to a certain degree. But anyway, let's hear what he has to say. Let's watch.
All right. Some of our favorite streamers are doubling down on the streaming is socially draining more than regular jobs. Hassan's unhappy.
I canceled on Twitter again, obviously, as always.
Oh, fuck.
This time it was for me saying that I run out of my social battery after 9.5 hours of streaming in a way that, like, a real job doesn't. And everyone immediately...
You never had a real job, dumbass.
I did. I worked in sales, so it was like a very social job as well. So I know exactly what, like, people-pleasing looks like, and it's, like, annoying and awful, right? So I was making a comparison between, like, my experience as a salesperson versus my experience as a Twitch streamer, and I was like, it's so soul-sucking. Like, it's so soul-crushing, and I can't socialize after that, and I feel so bad because I was talking about going to March's house. March had a housewarming party. None of you guys were invited because you're not cool.
I was invited, and I didn't remember until yesterday.
I was there, right? And I brought Kaya, and she was being the best girl. But I also felt like I was looking like an asshole to every single person because I was like pouting the whole time. I'm really fucking tired. I take one drink.
Well,
with
it's always the Hassan show.
I take one drink with.
She was on his head.
Out of here! Like I'm so
Do you got
tired.
hungover immediately?
Yeah, I think it's because, like, I'm tired after 9.5 hours of streaming, right? They clipped it like 30 seconds of it to be like, Hassan, streamer says, dumb socialist streamer says, like, fucking real jobs are way easier than streaming. That's like, that's not what I'm saying. Here's the fucking context. Nobody gives a shit. There's like hundreds of thousands of fucking likes.
That is true. And you know, people were telling me from the first video that I should have reacted to the whole Hassan video, but when I was looking up this to react to, I didn't see no fucking whole video. Didn't he stream this on Twitch? So when I looked it up, only people were reacting to it, because I don't think he put this on his channel, or at the time that I reacted to it, there was no video on like his channel like discussing it or talking about it. So, you know, I had to watch it through someone else. And same with this. I also looked up this clip. I looked up Hassan responds. Nothing was popping up. So, you know, because I don't think there's a video dedicated to this, or maybe this was on like a different platform, or I don't know. I couldn't find it. All right. So again, please feel free to request specific videos. Whenever I see that you should have reacted to, okay, well, it's done. What you want me to do about it now? You should have requested the proper video, then I can react to the right shit. I can only go based on what y'all request. Okay, just throwing that out there. I try my best. Based on the request I get.
I deleted Twitter from my phone. Yeah.
Oh, he deleted
It's really important for me to have Twitter on my phone for my job. Obviously, I need to like constantly be fucking up to date on what the fuck's going on in the world. But I feel like at this point, it's just not worth it. It's so.
It was on your ass.
Like being on Twitter and being extremely online is literally like being in a room where you're making the dumbest people on the fucking planet yell at you nonstop.
And so you're not using Twitter ever again?
No,
he just took it off his phone.
He'll use it on his PC.
Yeah, because I need to have it for my work. But yeah, I'm not gonna, because I was like looking at it and I was like fucking me up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were up really late last night.
No, I went to sleep at like 11. I just woke up at 4 and I was like going through Twitter and I was just like, fuck this, dude. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Good for you.
Yeah.
This is a positive step in your mental health.
Why is this line here with this little head and he got a mic?
Like, if I could just like quit and restart as like a YouTuber and be somebody totally different, because I feel like I've ruined so many first impressions, and I've just made so many mistakes online that are just like micro.
It's so funny you say that, because like you
I just wish I could start over.
You did it, but you feel that way, and it feels very real to you. But like from where I'm standing, with the amount of like genuine fucking hatred and vitriol that I have, I feel like yours is because you're a woman.
No, I've done some stupid shit.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, one time I...
Shut up. No.
Okay.
No, 100. Go ahead. I didn't mean like literally shut up. Go ahead.
I can't believe you.
You just might not be built for this lifestyle. Doesn't make the job hard. Because I'm not going to lie to you, some of you content creators are brittle as and Hassan has got to be the most brittle person.
I don't think that's fair to say. Again, he should never have made that comparison because there are many jobs that are harder in every way than streaming, obviously. So that is where he fucked up. But I don't think it's fair to completely dismiss what he's saying and say that, oh, the job is easy. No, it's not. That's just a lie. It's just a lie. And I feel like as a content creator, you guys should understand that there's a lot that goes into this shit. And there is a lot of time and energy and effort that goes into it that, you know, makes it difficult to a certain degree. Again, it doesn't need to be compared to anything else, but it takes a lot. And I think it's odd to hear them say that as content creators themselves. If you want to criticize that, oh, wait, shut up saying that this is harder than, you know, a regular job, sure. But to be like, oh, this shit ain't hard, you just brittle. Like, come on. I don't think that's fair to say. And honestly, I feel like they be low-key pandering to like the average viewer at times. They want to pander to the you know, average Joe because it is their core audience. And of course they like to keep their audience happy. That's what a lot of people typically do. So that's the vibe that I get sometimes when I'm watching their content. I'm just like, come on, because I think that's a very weird thing to say, especially when, you know, Hassan is contractually obligated to stream for several hours. And that's something that someone pointed out to me. And I didn't know that, but apparently he's under a Twitch contract and he has to stream a certain amount of hours, because that was also my criticism in the first video. I agree with them, you know, wholeheartedly. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, just turn the shit off. You don't have to stream as many hours. Because that was the case with me. I was overworking myself and I was putting up like 15 videos a day. And, you know, it got to a point where I'm just like, okay, I can't keep, you know, grinding myself to the ground like this. So I just eased up a bit to make it more manageable. But they can't. If they're under a contract, they got to put in hella hours. So it's like, given that he has to put in all of these long hours to say that, oh, this isn't hard at all, you just soft, you just brittle, like, come on. I don't think that's fair.
He's always crying and whining and about the fact
I don't know much about Hassan, though.
It's so unfair. People just hate
saying
me.
he always does it.
Oh, shut up. You're just brittle. The job's not hard. You're soft. That's not the same thing.
The job's not hard.
This job is not difficult. These guys are just soft. And if you look at their history of what they did as work before, not a single one of them had a truly difficult job. Not one. Hassan wanted to lie about he was in sales. Bruv, you did that for like a couple months. That was it. And then you went up to work for your fucking uncle because you're a Nepo baby. Most of these people have never had to do difficult jobs. And the ones who do generally don't find this shit hard. Asmongold.
See, that's cap. I've worked my whole fucking life. I've worked since I was 13. I wasn't even supposed to be working that young. So I have always had a job. I told you I've had like over 20 different jobs. I have literally been working nonstop. I was in college full time while working full time. I have always worked. But even I can acknowledge that this content creation shit is not easy. And I just don't like them kind of, you know, perpetuating this narrative that, you know, viewers love to throw at us that, oh, this shit is easy. Y'all got it so easy. Y'all don't do nothing. It's like, of course it looks that way, but there is a lot that goes into it. There is a lot of energy that goes into this, no matter what type of content creator you are. Obviously, it's going to vary. You know, some people definitely got it harder than others. You know, I have reaction videos, which are not as hard as like, you know, what some other people do, but it still takes a lot of fucking time and energy, and people being like, oh, well, anybody could do this. It's so easy. If anybody could do it and it's so easy, then you do it then. You do it. You do it and pop off and make a whole lot of money. That you do it. But not everybody can do this because it does take a lot of effort and energy. So I don't think it's fair to just dismiss what he's saying completely and write this off as easy. Like, they're pandering. And I've never heard a content creator who have been doing this for a certain amount of time say that this shit is easy. I've never heard anybody say that. and they say, oh, this ain't hard. Like, I've never heard that being said. Granted, it's better than every job I've ever had. Okay. I'm very grateful and very, blessed, fortunate, all of that, to be in this position because I make my own schedule and I have a lot of control over, what I do. But I would never say that this is easy and be like, oh, this shit ain't hard at all. Like, I think that's odd hearing them say that. Like, how can you say that?
Yeah, 1 hour and a half video on this topic. I cut it down a little bit to some more important parts.
Go ahead.
Obviously, it's not hard in the sense that it takes any brain power. This isn't fucking rocket science. Nobody's saying that. But when people are saying hard, they're just talking about all of the energy, effort, time that it takes to put into this shit day in and day out. And you got to be consistent.
Being a streamer is not very taxing physically. It's clearly not. And I think for a lot of people, it's not very taxing mentally either. I think streaming is a great job, and I would rather stream than have any other job in the world. There are obviously negatives that exist with streaming, but those negatives don't outweigh the positives. The big difference is the monetary difference between other jobs and being a streamer. Being paid a lot of money doesn't make problems go away. Being paid a lot of money makes it easier to deal with problems. There's actually studies that have been done on this, and I can show you the graph. I'll do it now because I think people are going to disagree. Because for a lot of people, and this is really the reality here, is that I'm preaching to a very tough audience, arguing my point of view.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it.
For the majority of people that are watching me and disagreeing and getting angry, the biggest problem in their life is money. So for them, the idea that you can't, that money isn't the problem.
That's why I don't feel like this conversation should have been had at all, to be honest. I feel like I said in the other video, I think Hassan and even this nigga should have kept these comments to themselves or discuss it amongst themselves. Because yes, it is a bit tone deaf and it is a bit odd to even complain about this to your audience when most of them, I would bet, would trade places with you in a heartbeat. So it's like, it is a bit strange for you to kind of be complaining about, the difficulties of your job. I don't think it's necessary.
This is going to very much upset them because they look at it from the perspective of like, well, if I had money, then this would totally solve all my problems. And I think if you work at many jobs, that's absolutely true. And I want to show that with a graph. So let me go ahead and do that. These are some graphs right here that I can show. And these are studies that have been done over the years with a number of different people. And basically what you see happening is that, especially whenever you're reaching, again, into this like leading up to like $200,000 a year, more money will absolutely make you more happy. Absolutely.
But when you get a certain amount, it don't make you happy.
That does not necessarily mean that more
I've
money
made this point before
will just make you more and more happy. And that's the perspective that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making.
That's the point I was making too. That's why you should turn your stream off. You make millions.
But they can't.
At 200K, you'd be
If
just as
they
happy
under
or
a
close to it.
contract.
Turn your stream off after 5 hours. That's the point I'm making. You have the luxury to do that. See that graph? Everyone else lives on the bottom of that curve where it's fucking dumb because they have complete financial insecurity. They don't know if they'll ever be able to afford a house, be able to send their kids to college, be able to take vacations, be able to pay college and pay off their debt. That's where most people live. You live in the upper bracket where infinity is not in existence, but you're going to continuously be happier. Marginally with time, but still happier. So why don't you just turn off your stream and then stop dealing with all the extra stress that you're self-imposing?
If 9 hours of stuff, do half. If half that of stuff, you're still gonna be good.
Yes.
That's exactly what
it's not about being good though, but if you're under a contract, you have to fulfill that obligation. So they're just focusing on that and they're completely ignoring, that they have to stream for a certain amount of hours.
Well, you're not going to be as popular. That's not true, okay? There's plenty of streamers who take months off and they're fine. I know this. As a content creator, I take months off. I think I took 2 weeks off in February. The year before, I took a month off in September. And then I took another month off, I think in May. I took 2 months off out of the year. What?
This put things into perspective because I'm like, how can they say that it's not that hard? How can you say that? Oh, they taking a lot of breaks. Oh, okay. That puts things into perspective. So that is why they have this perspective that it's not difficult. I feel like when you are constantly grinding, which is what a lot of content creators do, they end up getting burnt out and it does feel hard. It starts to feel hard. I can attest to that. Because I also, when I talk about how my job isn't as easy as people think it is, it's because look at how I work. I work like a crackhead, but this is how I always have been. Like I said, I've been working since I was 13. Like I don't know anything else. So I feel weird when I'm not working. Like that's why I even work on vacation. I'm going on vacation actually next week. I'm gonna be going for a minute. Y'all gonna see. I'm gonna work on vacation just because it's like, it's not because I'm pressed for money. Listen, I ain't trying to flex on them, but I put up a video about crypto not so long ago. If you saw it, you saw it. Okay, you saw what was in there. You saw my portfolio, and that's just with crypto. I got other money in other places. I have multiple streams of income. So just know this isn't. I don't work as much as I do out of desperation or being money hungry. I do it because this is just what I've always done. I'm used to working, and when I am just chilling, I don't say bad, but I do kind of feel bad, and I feel like, what the fuck am I doing in my life? Like I feel like a loser. So I don't know. Maybe that's something I can unpack in therapy. But I feel like I'm wasting my fucking time. Even on vacation, after I go on excursions or I party or I do whatever I'm doing and I'm in the hotel just chilling, I'm just like, bro, the fuck? I could be working right now. Let me put my camera up. I'm about to record some fucking videos. What the fuck am I doing? You know, so I feel like people who work a lot, they're gonna have the mindset that this is hard, this content creation shit. Again, hard is subjective, but they're gonna have a different perspective. But them taking months off and weeks off at a time, it's like, oh, okay, this is why you have this viewpoint that, oh, this shit is cake, this is easy. What are you talking about? This ain't hard at all. What? And it's like, and you guys do something completely different than Hassan and this other nigga who stream. Y'all don't stream, to my knowledge. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I've never seen them stream anything. I've never seen any clips of them streaming or going live or anything. So it's like, how can you say that it's so easy when you don't even do it? That doesn't make any sense to me. I have went live a few times, and when I tell you draining as fuck, I could not do anything after. So I got a little taste of that, and I was like, ooh. And the audience that I was going live with was super positive. It was, my peoples over on Patreon, okay? They're my niggas over there. So we was chopping it up, cracking jokes, having a great time. It was a very positive experience, but it's just it's just having to just be social constantly and reading people's comments and, trying to be entertaining. It's a lot. And then having the pressure of all the people watching you. And it's like, oh, do I got a booger in my nose? Or how am I looking? Like, why do I look like that? Okay. It's a lot. It is a lot, when you're doing it for long periods of time. I think I've always went live for like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time. So not too long, but still in that short period of time, I was like, fuck, like after. So I can't imagine what it would be like to do that for 9 hours on a consistent basis. So I kind of feel what they're saying. So I just think it's unfair for them to just dismiss it this heavily. It's like, come on. And then it's like, y'all taking months off at a time. Is Hassan doing that? Let me know, because I don't know shit about Hassan or this other nigga, but is Hassan and this other nigga, are they taking months off at a time? If they're not, then of course they're gonna have a harder experience. But again, they shouldn't be complaining about it. You know what?
I can afford it.
That's what I'm saying. I've been talking
Because
too
I know,
much.
all right, if I keep doing this work, it's not going to be that great. So I'm going to be responsible. And because this job affords me the privilege of choosing my hours and stopping and going whenever I want, I can. And guess what? My audience is amazing. They come back. They respect it. They appreciate it. They're like, yo, if you post me there, and if you don't, take care of yourself. I respect
My
that.
audience do that too. I don't care. I'm working.
And unbearable? Yeah. And you know what? I could never do that at my own jobs. Nope. Yes. So I would never compare.
No, they're gonna ask questions.
But you're right. It shouldn't be compared. I agree with that.
Ask questions. That's the only way. So what did your doctor say?
Money is such a big problem in their life that whenever they hear anybody say anything that is even adjacent to money isn't a problem, it immediately, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it unironically triggers them. And so they stop thinking about what's actually being said, and they start arguing against something that they've heard before. They get emotional about it. And I understand that. Again, I've been in that position myself. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I ever said. Yeah. And
that's why you shouldn't be talking to them about it. Because they like, nigga, I'm broke. I'm struggling. And you talking about you sitting there streaming, eating, playing fucking video games, making millions of dollars is hard. What the fuck? It does trigger them. And it's like, understandably. So this is why you should not talk to them about it.
And also, I don't because I've watched Hassan for years. I've known Hassan. I've talked to Hassan. I don't think that's really what he thinks. Now, maybe he should have said it in a way that was better, but I don't think that he thinks that. So, we can talk about the way that he communicated that, and if it could have been communicated in a better way, sure. But I'm talking about, what the intent was behind the communication. These guys are right. I mean, they're right. That, he did say that. I think that it was very clear in my mind that wasn't what he intended. So
I can only go on what he said. Like, I cannot go on what you think.
No, you can go on what he said, and you can go on your knowledge of being a content creator as well. They be pandering, bro. Y'all know what the fuck he meant. To have zero understanding of what he meant is just like, come on. I don't think y'all are being disingenuous. I just don't feel like they're being honest with their takes sometimes. It's like they're trying to pander low key.
He said, I don't know that. I can just go about what he actually said. And what he actually said was garbaggio. That's it. And it's okay.
But I do agree with them as well, because I did in the other video, I agreed with them heavily in what they were saying. But I just feel like they had zero empathy or understanding of what Hassan is saying. And it's like, I don't think that makes any sense given that they are content creators themselves.
It doesn't make you... You said that was a dumb take. Move on. You think that's not what he said or this and that? How am I supposed to know?
People didn't take him out of context. He just misspeaks.
That's the difference.
Those two things are not the same.
Thank you.
If you're over here like, oh,
yeah, he
didn't
say it well.
And then be like, whoa, what the fuck? And you're like, no, the context was like, growing up, there's a lot of people who happen to be black who hurt me, and I didn't like those people.
That's not the same thing.
Well, bitch, use the right words. That's your problem. Don't get mad at people because you can't communicate or rate yourself properly.
If you're saying shit is out of context, but the rest of the context is in your head, it's not out of context. It's in your head.
The rest of the context.
You know, there's what people mean, there's what people feel, and there's what people actually say. And you said some really dumb shit. Not you specifically, but Hassan did. And then you came out and defended it very ardently based off what you thought.
I mean, everybody's able to articulate themselves perfectly.
A while back, she was talking to developers. I don't care how hard it is. Nobody's
Totally fucking true. Absolutely 100% true. And I said that with streaming. Absolutely. Nobody gives a fuck how you feel. And it's the same thing, like, so you can, and this might seem like a bit of whiplash because I'm talking about like two separate things, right? So like I can talk about like the ethical world that I think is best and that I try to live by in the cases that I can, which is trying to listen and understand how other people feel and trying to like basically compromise with people by understanding them and taking them at face value and trying to empathize with what people's perspective is. I think this is a good thing. Back over here in reality, outside of my own ethical...
Sorry, let me slow it down a bit. I sped it. Well, they already sped him up, and then I have the video sped up, so that's why I sound extra fast. But I'm trying to speed it up because I've already talked so much. I'm yapping.
Nobody gives a fuck.
But they've already sped him up.
Nobody gives a fuck. This is hypocrisy.
I'm here, make the fucking games.
Xavier's tweet was well-intentioned, and he went on to add a lot of the
He made a lot of very good points.
But I think it misses the perspective of the consumer.
I literally said that. And this is the thing. Is developers need to stop. Like, nobody gives a fuck.
He like, oh shit, I did say that. Look at his face.
Shut the up, pussy. Stop crying. Yeah. Either do it or you don't. Holy. Just that nobody cares about, oh, it's so hard. Oh, well, this is... We're talking to people that work in construction. Yeah. And I'm going to say that it's hard. Your job could be more demanding than that. I don't know. But guess what? To them, it's not.
But now when it's you guys, like, oh, and you expect sympathy for what reason?
No, I don't expect it at all, and I know that I won't get it. No, he's totally right. This is a complete contradiction of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and that's what I was talking about before. With, like, how I think things should be versus how I think things are. And, like, in my opinion, I find it to be problematic that people think that way, but I also know that that's true.
Which, that's not even being good faith. And I mean, you can see that way. I think that's being incredibly charitable to someone that you have close ties to. Because I've seen you not be as charitable to game devs, for example, or to other streamers who complain who you may not be friends with. So, to me, it's interesting that you extend this much charitability to Hassan, but like you said yourself, you have a very good relationship with him, or a strong one. And so that's
that, and
really
he has
inside
info because he does the same shit.
As Asmongold is just that. Well, no, Asmongold saying the same thing as us. The difference is just that he's saying that, well, he can read minds, and I can't.
Oh, he knows Hassan, so I think he knows how he communicates.
So he can read his mind?
Sure, when he just understands them better. He can interpret things better, because you understand somebody.
And extreme, so he knows what the job entails.
So what are you talking about? You want some bears and napkins, and then you want to take a nap, and you want to take a 2-hour walk?
Yeah, no problem. What the fuck? Hassan's his baby boy.
No, but I like the idea of him reading minds, because Asmongold sounds like a wizard name.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
He made his career playing World of Warcraft.
See? Not crazy. That's a
Yes,
wizard.
he
This
does.
motherfucker's like a
Say
paladin
what
or
he gotta say.
another sorcerer or some shit like that.
Okay, get to it.
What's his name? No.
I want to hear what he...
Especially with like social media, right? Like you have to be posting all the time. And of course you can take time off. Absolutely. But there is a risk to taking that time off. And I'm not saying that it's not a privilege to be able to do that, but what I am saying is that it doesn't come with a cost.
Turn it off after 5, but because they want to make more money, they keep streaming. And then they want to get up here and then complain.
Or maybe he's not under contract.
Who here is
But I heard
hours at work?
Hassan is.
The fact that you guys even have the goal to compare yourselves to regular people when your extra hours of labor are rewarded with more and more money is insane.
Well, I think most people get paid overtime, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, if anybody is working extra and you're not being paid for that, you're not getting paid overtime. Not salary? Oh, yeah, that's definitely true. But if you're being paid hourly, you do get paid extra.
No. Especially not if you got a salary.
When you have a job, when there's some things that don't fit your description, that's overtime. It's overtime. You're not working overtime. You just more than doctor.
Y'all check out, see, he bring up the doctor's argument. That's why I said this should not have been said. The comparison should have not have been made. Should have not, yeah, I'm tired. The comparison shouldn't have been made.
Engineers, pilots, government, congressmen, they get paid more to play.
Now, this is, in my opinion, I understand it, but I to be honest with you, I really don't respect it. I'm sorry, but I don't respect feeling that way. Because it's an emotional perspective that's selfish. And I think that anybody out in the world has a right to own their own problems, and nobody else in the world has the right to take that away from them. And I really dislike this idea that because some person has it bad, they try to go out of their way to invalidate other people who have other problems that
exactly,
they
like, oh, I got it worse than you.
That's true. It's an incredibly toxic way of talking. It's an incredibly toxic way of looking at the world.
I'll say, we don't have the right to take away from you, but we who mostly have.
I'm sorry, y'all. It's because I'm skipping around too much.
Time flexibility in the world, complaining about the fact that their work is tiring to people who mostly have to work shit-end jobs.
And I really dislike this idea that because some person has it bad, they try to go out of their way to invalidate other people who have other problems that they deem less important. I think this is an incredibly toxic way of talking. It's an incredibly toxic way of looking at the world. And at the end of the day, I think that we're all very privileged in a lot of cases. That's why we're sitting on here with high-speed internet, probably in most of the cases, air-conditioned houses in a first-world country in many cases as well, according to my analytics, having conversations about this kind of stuff. We are all incredibly privileged, at least according to many other people in the world.
That's a good point, because people in other parts of the world, they're like, oh, you talking about your job is hard as a construction worker and you get paid that much money? I'm doing this for 20 hours a day and I'm getting paid $5 a day, so it's like we can play this, game back and forth till we're blue in the face and who has it harder. The struggle Olympics, it's just unnecessary. So again, that's where he fucked up, is making the comparison. Sorry, I had to start skipping around in this vid to get to the point because I yapped a lot in this video. I talked a lot. It's already getting kind of long. And like I said, I looked for the original video, the original responses, because that's really just what I mainly wanted to hear what they had to say. And I couldn't find them, so had to watch it through Abba and Preach. And no shade to them. I watch them quite a bit and I respect their opinions and I like hearing different perspectives. I just don't always agree, and that's okay. I don't have to fucking agree with everybody. It's not how the world works, so it's fine that I disagree with them sometimes. But yeah, I think it comes down to just not even complaining about these things to your audience. And what he's saying is valid. It's like, it is toxic to be like, oh, shut up, you got it easy. But look, he did the same thing to the developers or whatever. So it's like, all right, what are we doing at this point? Anyway, keep your sob stories to yourself as content creators and talk to, other content creators about the struggles that you have, because your audience, they don't want to hear it. They don't care. And they don't understand. So it is what it is. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.